Hi, this is Maria. Welcome to mariascraftroom.com. Today I'm going to show you how to make this reusable weekly layout using Procreate. And this is a pattern brush with a pretty overlay that is what I call like parchment paper, because you can kind of see through it, kind of not. You can, I like to use parchment paper like this rather than decreasing the opacity of the entire layer. Because sometimes you have pretty pattern paper like this. You have this pretty pattern paper that is so pretty you don't want to lower its opacity. I could take this whole image into Procreate and lower the opacity, but I like that. So what I've made is an opaque little layer here, what I'm calling parchment, where I can lay it over a pretty patterned paper. And I can write on that rather than alter the opacity of the original. You can use this on its own, and of course you can change its opacity in Procreate when you make it. So I'm going to show you how to make both of those, the little parchment paper and also as it's used within my weekly spread here, because it's pretty much the same thing. Alright, so let me clear my screen. I happen to be using Note Shelf, but you could work in GoodNotes and get a similar effect. So I am in week 43 of the 2020 Digibujo. You can use whatever planner you like. I will list what I use in the video description below and also in the blog. So I'm going to click the up arrow, current page, make sure you're using PNG format, and share. And you could go straight into Procreate. I prefer to save image and put it into my camera roll. That's preference, you do whatever you want. I'm going to go into Procreate, add screen size canvas, and then wrench, add insert photo. And we're going to bring in that last one. I'm going to fit to screen, and there we are. There's my planner spread. You could just take a screenshot of your planner. I find this gives me better resolution. I'm going to add a layer. I'm going to pick a pretty orange, and I'm going to actually flood the screen. Okay, now I'm going to use my arrow tool in freeform, and I'm going to just bring this square, this rectangle, right inside my planner page. I don't want to cover the book cover, just the white page. Okay. Alright. Next, I'm going to add another layer, and I'm going to pick a brown and a pattern brush. And let's see, backgrounds. There's a pretty cat brush. Pen size is all the way up, opacity is all the way up. I'm just going to tap, and you can see the size of this brush is ginormous. So one tap got me all of that. Sometimes you have to wiggle in order to get it to fill your whole screen. But in this case, one tap did it. But now you can see my cats went everywhere. So I'm going to back up. We're going to make this orange layer a reference, and the cat layer is going to be a clipping mask. So now I've just clipped the orange, which happens to be inside my planner page. Alright, so next let's open another layer. I'm going to pick a white, and again I'm going to flood the page. And now I'm going to pick an eraser. Jenny has a torn paper eraser, and what I'm going to do is actually erase. My pen size is all the way up, opacity is somewhere in the middle, and I'm going to erase part of that sheet. Okay, now I went that's really big, just to show you. If I hold it, it will go perfectly straight. Let's two-finger erase. Let's make that a little smaller. If I don't hold it, it gives me a more natural line. Okay, so there's my torn paper effect. Can you see how it just kind of leaves it scraggly? I like that. Next, we're going to click the N inside that layer and lower the opacity. Now here is personal preference. How much of that background do you want to see? I'm going to set mine to 70%, but you can go as much as you want. Okay. Now opacity has a lot of options here. Normal is what I'm using. That's what defaults. Okay. When you first click the N, you're going to be in normal. But if you happen to scroll over and get some weird effect, that's probably what happened. Make sure you're in normal. Okay, let's go add another layer. Let's pick a nice brown, and we're going to pick another brush from the calendar layouts that I've used before. And I'm simply going to tap, use my arrow to place it where I want it. I am in freeform, so I can skew a little bit. Okay, that's it. That is it for this layout. I'm going to go to my layers, turn off the planner, turn off the background, wrench tool, share, PNG, save image to put it into my camera roll, and when I go back into Note Shelf, I'm going to grab the last image, click edit, and you're going to want to take the gray stuff out. Even if you're using GoodNotes, it just helps you position your images better. Make it fit the width of my planner, drop it into place, and lock it. So now I can write on this, and since I left the numbers out, I can reuse this image. Now let's make this little one just an overlay. Let's go back into Procreate. Let's go to Gallery. Let's add a A4 size, which will just give me a long rectangle. Let's put a background down first so that we can see a little better what I'm doing. Let's pick a pattern brush. Let's use Valentine patterns. Now see, this pen is smaller than the other one, so I'm having to, rather than one tap, I'm just going to fill the screen. Just don't pick up your pen and you will not mess up the pattern. Alright, that's just to illustrate how the overlay works. I'm going to add, let's pick a white, and we're going to flood that. Go to Eraser, and not too big, not too small. And I'm going to erase away my tattered edge. Okay, now I only did that background so that you can see. Okay, now if we turn off that background, you can't see what I've just done because I did it in white. In that overlay layer, click the N. Again, I'm in normal. And you can play here what percentage you want to use. How opaque do you want it? Okay, how much do you want to see that background image? So you may want it at 80 something, you may want it at 70 something. That is completely up to you. So I'm going to stop that one at 80. I'm going to turn off the pattern paper because I only did it to see what I was doing. Turn off my background white, and that is what I'm actually going to save. Now I can see here that I've got a little extra. Let's clean up. And now I can save that. Wrench tool, share, PNG, save image. Now I've got a transparent plane. Let's move this one over. And we'll add in the one I just made, which is the last one. And there it is. It's the same thing. It's just in white. So 80% gives me a little bit of transparency. So I can make this smaller. I can move it around, have little multiple scrolls, do whatever it is that you want. But I find this little overlay very handy, and I don't have to actually alter the pretty pattern paper. Just leave it full strength as it was designed, and I can write over my own little overlay. Okay, now the handwriting there is below so I need to write over it. Okay, but your layer, you can lock it just like any other image. Or you can use it by itself over here. You can make it pretty pink, pretty green, whatever it is. I like white just because that way it doesn't interfere with the colors of the background. That's my layout for the week. And I'm free to just add in my days and make this reusable if I choose to do that. And there you have it. I hope you liked this video. Please remember to like and subscribe and click that notification bell to get notified when I post a new video. Thank you for watching.